Hello everyone, this is Seema, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Kaveri Institute of Technology, Mandya. So in this session, I'm going to explain you about a concept called literals in Java. So what are the different literals? We'll look ahead in case of a Java programming. So let's discuss with literals in Java. So literals in Java, it's a syntactic representation of a data type. So this literals is nothing but it's a syntactic representation of a data type. So this data types are nothing but a boolean data type, or it's a numeric data type, characters, or string data. So in order to represent a syntactic, in order to represent the data type in a syntactic manner, we'll go with this literals. So literals are a syntactic representations of different kinds of data types. So this literals is a means of expressing a particular values in a Java program. So literals are used as a means of expressing a particular values in a Java program. So let's see how it actually express the particular values. So let me take an example like count is equals to 0. So here expressing the value of count in the program. So expressing the value of count in any particular program. Here an integer variable. So here it's an integer variable which named as a count is assigned to an integer value. So here this 0 represents a literal value. So a literal 0 represents the value 0. So this represents the literal value. So by using this literals, we're gonna express a particular value in a Java program. So by using this literals, we can express the different values for a particular data types. So a constant value assigned to the variables can be referred to as a literal. So here I'm assigning a constant value called 0 to a variable called count. So literal is a constant value which is assigned to a particular variable. This is a source code representation of fixed value, which means that they cannot represent it directly in the code. So these literals cannot express directly in the code. So this is a source code representation of fixed value. So they are represented directly in the code, which are represented directly in the code. So literals are the source code representation of fixed value, which means that these literals are represented directly in the code or directly in the particular program. So any primitive type variables are assigned using a literal. So in order to assign up any variables to any primitive data types, we'll go with this primitive. So by using this literals, we can assign any primitive variables to a particular values. So coming to the types of literals, basically we'll have 6 different types of literals. That is integer literals, floating point literals, character literals, string literals, boolean literals, as well as a null literals. So as I said, literal is a syntactic representation or syntactic way of representing a different data types. Here in case of a types of literals, we have 6 different types of literals. One is an integral literals, floating point literals, char literals, string literal, boolean, as well as a null literal. So let's discuss each and every type of literals in detail. So firstly, we have integer literals. So as the name itself suggests, integer literals. So integer literals are the numbers that has no fractional parts or exponents. So in case of an integer literals, it contains only a numeric values without any fractional parts or without any exponentials. So it is also called as a whole numbers. These integer literals are also called as a whole numbers, which is always begins with a plus or minus. So it always this integer literals will always begins with a plus or minus. If it is not specified with any of the symbol, then it is known that it's a positive integers. If it is not specified, if the sign of it, if a sign is not preceding with the digits, then it is the value is positive. So there are four different ways of specifying this integral literals, or there are four different ways of specifying this integral literals, and they are decimal literals, octal, hexadecimal way of representing the integer literals, or the last one is a binary integer literals. So let's see with these four kinds of representing an integer literals. Firstly, we have a decimal literal. So as I said, it's a decimal literals. It is consists of a combinations of digits which is from 0 to 9. So any combination which occurs between a combination within the digits of 0 to 9. So the combinations between the numbers 0 to 9 is called as a decimal, or it's called as a decimal way of representing an integer values. So it is also called as a base 10 value. So the decimal is also called as a base 10 values. So here I have an example called int a is equals to 100. So here I am going to assign an integer variable called a to a value 100. So here I am assigning a positive value. So here I am not specifying any of the symbols. Here I am not specifying any of the symbols preceding the digits. So it is a common understanding that it is a positive integer. So it's an example of integer decimal constants. Now next I have one more example called int b is equals to minus 145. Here I am going to assign a variable called b, which is of data type integer, with a value called minus 145. So here it's a negative sign which is preceding with the digits. So it's a negative decimal constants. So next here I have one more example called int c is equals to 065. So it is leading with 0, specifying that it's an octal constant, not a decimal one. Since it is leading with 0, since the digits will leading with 0, it specifies that it's an octal constant, not a decimal constant. So this is about a decimal way of representing the integer data types. So next we have an octal kind of representing an integer data type. So what is meant by octal? So when I say about an octal, it's a combination of digits from 0 to 7. So earlier I said that decimal is a combinations of digits which taken from 0 to 9. Whereas the octal is the combinations of digits which taken from 0 to 7. So when I say about an octal, so it is also called as a base 8 representation. So octal is called as a base 8 representation. So octal is called as a base 8 representation. So the first digit must be 0. So in case of octal way of representing any values or any particular identity, so the first digits must be a 0. So to identify the constant as octal number. So whenever a thing is whenever a value is preceding with 0, then it is understood that it's an octal number. So here I have an example called integer a. Here I have an variable which is of data type integer, is having a value called 0374. Since the value is preceding with 0, it is an example of octal number. So next I have a 097. So since I have a combinations of 0 to 7, so as for octal representation, octal is a combinations of digits from 0 to 7. So here I have a 097. So 9 is not an octal digit. So it shows an error that 9 is not an octal digit. So as octal is just a combinations of digits from 0 to 7, since I have a 9 here, it shows an error that 9 is not an octal digit. So this is about octal way of representing an integer value. So next I have an hexadecimal way of representation. So when I say it's an hexadecimal, it's a sequence of digits. When I say it's about hexadecimal, it's a sequence or collections of digits which is begins with 0 with cap x or 0 with lower x. So the digits in the range with 0 to 9, and It's of alphabetical order, of A to F. So it consists of a sequence of digits which eventually begins with 0 with uppercase X or 0 with lowercase x, and the digits which is ranging from 0 to 9. So combinations of digits from 0 to 9 and combinations of letters from A to F. So here in case of an hexadecimal, the digits must be begins with 0x and the combinations of values from 0 to 9 and the characters from combinations of characters from A to F. So when I say it's an hexadecimal, it is called as a base 16. So when I say it's an hexadecimal, it's a base 16. So even though Java is a case sensitive and it is also providing exceptions for using either an uppercase letters or a lowercase letters while designing an hexadecimal literals. So since Java is a case sensitive, it also provides an exceptions for using either an uppercase letter or a lowercase letters. So this is about a decimal, hexadecimal way of representing an integral literals. So at last we have a binary way of representing an integer literals. So it can be represented in binary literals, that is either 0 or 1. So we know that the binary numbers are nothing but a zeros and ones. So these numbers are prefixed with 0b. So it's either it's a 0 with cap p or it is a 0 with lowercase b. So here is an example of binary number where it is preceding or it's a prefix with 0b with a combinations of zeros and 1. So this is a binary kind of representing an integer literal. So all these are the 4 different way of specifying an integer literals. So next we have floating point literals. So floating point literals are also called or also known as a real constants. So this floating point literals will represent the decimal values with some fractional components. So they can be expressed in either standard notation or by using a scientific notation. So floating point digits or floating point literals can be expressed in 2 different notations. One is a standard notations and another one is scientific notation. So let's see what do you mean by a standard and what do you mean by a scientific notations. So when I say about a standard notation, it consists of a whole number followed by a decimal point followed by a fractional point. So when I say about a standard notation, it consists of a whole number component followed by a decimal point followed by a fractional component. So here have a whole number which is followed by a decimal point. Next it is followed by a fractional component. So standard notation of floating point literals consists of a whole number along with the decimal point. Then it will ends with a fractional component. So decimal whole number, decimal point, which is ends with a fractional part in case of a standard notation. So next, coming to the scientific notation, it is used as a standard notation, that is floating point number plus any suffix. So the exponent is indicated by E or E, either it's an uppercase E or it's a lowercase e, followed by any decimal number. This decimal number is either a positive number or a negative number. So when I say about the scientific notations in case of a floating point literals, it uses some standard notation along with floating point number plus a suffix. So there is a combinations of 3 different things. One is a standard notation, floating point number as well as a suffix. So here have a standard notation. I am using a standard notation. So when I say about a standard notation, it consists of a whole number. It consists of a whole number followed by decimal point followed by fractional point value. So here in case of a scientific notation also I have used a standard notation. Along with that it will indicating the exponent then followed by the decimal numbers. So it eventually uses 3 different combinations. One is a standard notation and another one is an exponent and another one is a decimal value. So this is for two different types of notations in case of a fractional point. So to specify a floating point literal, we need to append f to the constant. So in order to specify any floating point literal, at the end we need to append a constant called f, and to specify a double literal by appending d. So in case of an literals, or in case of a floating point literals, we have a two different kinds of literals. One is a floating point literals, which is for single precision value, and these are appended with either capital F or small f. So another one is with double literals or double floating point values, which is with double precision values, which is having a double precision values, and this will append the digits or append the literals by d or small d. So it is appended with the digits d or capital D. So this is to the default double literal or double type consumes 64-bit of storage, while the less accurate float type requires 32-bit storage. So this floating point will consist of an 32-bit. It consists of a 32-bit, whereas this double will consumes about a 64-bit of storage in case of any data type. So in case of any data type, this float will consumes about a 32-byte, whereas this double will consumes about a 64-byte. So this is about a floating point literals. So next we have a character literals. So it is have a type called char. So this is an unsigned integer primitive data type. It's an unsigned. So this char is an unsigned integer primitive. It's an unsigned integer primitive. So char literals is an unsigned integer primitive types. So these are the constant values, and this character is also a constant value character expression. So this is a constant value character expression. So char literal is a constant value of character expression, which is used in a Java programming. So these six Java literals are a 16-bit Unicode characters. So this char literals consists of a 16-bit Unicode characters, which ranges from 0 to 65535. So this char literals is an unsigned integer primitive data type, and they are the constant value character expression. These char literals are a 16-bit Unicode characters, which ranges from 0 to 65535. So there can be of four different ways of representation. One is a single code, character literals, escape sequence, and Unicode representation. So by using these four different ways, we're going to represent the char literal. So let's discuss with each way of representation. So firstly, we have about a single quote. So when I about single quote, it specifies literals to a character data type as a single character within a single quote. So any character which is enclosed with a single quote is called as a single quote representation of char literal. So here I have an example of variable called ch, which is of a char data type. It consists of a value a, which is enclosed with a single quote. So it is a single quote representation of literals, char literals. So next I have a char literal. So it specifies the char literals as an integral literals, which represents an Unicode value of a characters. It can also be specified in case of a decimal, octal, and hexadecimal forms. So it allows a ranges between a 0 to 65535. So next is an escape sequence. So every escape character can be specified as a char literal. So by using either by using a tab or by using a /n, we're going to say it's an escape sequence, or by using a white space. So next we have a Unicode representation. So it specifies the char literals as /u followed by 4x, where here this 4x represents the 4 hexadecimal numbers. So they will use a combinations of numbers, combinations of 4 hexadecimal numbers in order to represent a Unicode constant. So this is about a 4-way of representing a character literals. So next we have a string literals. So string literals will represents the multiple characters. So it's a combinations of characters. So it's a sequence of zeros or more characters. So this string literals will be written inside a double quotes. So the characters or a combinations of characters which are written inside a double quote is known as a string. So each character in a string can also be represented an escape sequence. Each character in a string literals is also present as an escape sequence. So all the string literals in Java programming will belongs to a class called string. So here is an example called ABC. So it's a combinations of characters. It's a combinations of both uppercase. It's a combination of both uppercase as well as a lowercase character. So which is enclosed within a double quote. So it's a combinations of characters which is enclosed within a double quotes. So next I have a tech with one. It's also enclosed with a double quote. Next I have a space between each and every word or each and every phrase have a space. So here have use an escape tab. Here have uses for space between each and every character. So it's a word representation. It's a sentence way of representation. Next I have a reader's book. So here I have a slash and representation. So it's an escape sequence of representing a string literal. So this is about a string literals. So next I have a Boolean literal. So when I say about a Boolean, so we know that a Boolean is used to indicate the condition of a particular literal. So it allows only two values, and those are divided into two intervals. First is a true in order to represent a real Boolean values, and false in order to represent a false Boolean values. So in order to represent a true and false condition, we'll go with the true Boolean literals. So for example, Boolean B is equals to true. If the condition of a B is true, then this output will be fetched. If the condition D is false, if any given conditions about a D, if it is false, then it will give this as an output. So that's about a Boolean. Next, at last, we have a null literals. So this null literals, it is represents a null value, so that it by represents a null values, it says that, or it evaluates to the null value. So it evaluates to the null value. So this null value is used to denote a reference which is not pointing to any object or any particular array. So this is used to, this null literals are used to denote a reference. So that reference is not pointing to any of an array or any of the objects. This will simply exist, but this is not referring any of the particular object or any arrays. So this values refers to no objects. Just it acts as a reference, but it is not refers to any of the particular object. So Java throws null pointer exceptions. So null describes an uninitialized state in a program. So by using this null, it describes that there is an uninitialized state present in a particular program. So whenever I say about a null, it contains about a no values. So it's an error to attempt to the dereferencing the null value. So null literals is an error which will occur to dereferencing the particular null values. So that's all about the literals in Java. Thank you.